The first thing I felt was cold. Not the sharp, immediate cold of space exposure, but a deep, creeping chill that wrapped around my bones and refused to let go. It was the kind of cold that came from exhaustion, from blood loss, from a body that had pushed itself far beyond its limits and was finally giving up. I couldn't see. My helmet was gone. My armor, what remained of it, felt fused to my skin, cracked and useless. The air tasted wrong. Sweet. Heavy. Alien. So this is how it ends, I thought dimly. I had survived orbital bombardments, boarding actions, and 3 planetary sieges. I had crawled out of burning wreckage with broken ribs and fought on sheer will alone. But now, on the obsidian floor of an alien throne chamber, my body finally decided it was done. My heartbeat slowed. Each breath felt optional. I welcomed the darkness. Then warmth touched my lips. At first, I thought it was hallucination, the brain's last cruel trick before death. But the warmth lingered. Gentle. Intentional. It wasn't fire or energy discharge or medical equipment. It was a kiss. My eyes snapped open. Light flooded my vision, forcing a gasp from my lungs. I sucked in air like a drowning man breaking the surface, pain ripping through my chest as life surged back into me. I coughed, choking, and felt hands steady my shoulders. And there she was. The alien queen. Her face hovered inches from mine, impossibly close. Her skin shimmered like polished pearl beneath bioluminescent light, patterns glowing faintly along her cheekbones. Her eyes, vast, luminous, ancient, searched mine with something I never expected to see in them. Fear. Relief. Emotion. "You live," she whispered, her voice trembling like starlight disturbed. I tried to move, but agony exploded through my body. I groaned, collapsing back onto the smooth black stone beneath me. "What happened?" I croaked. She straightened slightly, though her hands never left me. "You crossed the killing threshold," she said. "Your heart had begun to surrender. Had I arrived moments later, your species would call you lost." I stared at her, disbelief cutting through the pain. "You saved me." She hesitated. Then, softly, "Yes." Memory rushed back in fragments. The battle above Caliph Prime. The ambush. Our cruiser torn apart by crystalline warships bearing the Queen's sigil. My unit scattered, hunted through burning corridors. I remembered dragging myself into the royal sanctum, not to survive, but to finish the mission. Deliver the truth. I tried to sit up again, forcing myself through the pain. "The war, your counsel, they're lying to you." Her expression darkened. "I know." That single sentence stunned me more than the kiss. "I have always known," she continued. "But knowledge and certainty are not the same. You brought certainty, at the cost of your life." She gestured, and the chamber responded. The walls pulsed with soft light, revealing vast arches of living crystal and flowing energy streams. This was not merely a throne room, it was a living system, ancient beyond comprehension. "You collapsed at my feet," she said quietly. "Your blood marked the stone. My guards demanded your execution." I swallowed. "And you said no." I said wait. She looked down at me then, truly looked at me, and something in her gaze softened. "Your armor was shattered. Your body broken. Yet you dragged yourself here anyway. Not to beg. Not to threaten. But to speak." My throat tightened. Someone had to. Her fingers brushed against my chest plate, tracing the cracks where energy weapons had nearly split me open. "Your people call this bravery," she said. "My people call it madness." "Sometimes," I muttered, "they're the same thing." To my surprise, a faint smile touched her lips. Servants entered then, silent, graceful beings who moved like living shadows. They worked around us, removing my ruined armor, sealing wounds, applying alien technology that hummed softly as it knit flesh and bone. I should have felt fear. I was alone, unarmed, surrounded by the most powerful being in the sector. Instead, I felt safe. Days passed, or maybe cycles. Time blurred as my body healed under technologies humanity could only dream of. I drifted in and out of consciousness, always aware of one constant. The Queen was there. She watched over me in silence, sometimes seated beside my resting platform, sometimes standing at the edge of the chamber as if guarding me herself. When I woke, our eyes met more often than not. Finally, when I could stand without collapsing, she dismissed the servants and faced me alone. "You should hate me," she said suddenly. I frowned. "Why?" "My fleets burned your colonies. My decisions condemned millions. I am the architect of the war that broke your body. I looked down at my hands, scarred, trembling, alive. And yet you saved me. Her jaw tightened. Because when I looked upon you dying, I saw the truth of what I had done. Not numbers. Not strategy. Flesh. Breath. A life ending because of my command. Silence filled the chamber. I was raised to rule without attachment, she continued. Queens before me believed compassion weakened judgment. I believed them. She met my gaze, eyes glowing brighter. Then I kissed you. Heat rushed to my face. That was compassion. It was desperation, she said honestly. An instinct I did not know I possessed. My species shares life force through proximity, through touch. I did not intend intimacy. I intended survival. And it worked, I said quietly. Yes. She turned away, pacing slowly. In that moment, I felt your pain. Your fear. Your stubborn refusal to surrender. And I realized something terrifying. What? That if I continued this war, I would lose myself. I took a careful step toward her. So end it. She stopped. You asked me to dismantle an empire built on conquest. I ask you to build something else, I replied. She studied me for a long time. You are a dangerous human. I huffed. I get that a lot. Another smile, clearer this time. Real. The following weeks reshaped history. The Queen halted her fleets. Negotiations began under impossible conditions. Both sides accused the other of deception. Assassination attempts were made, against her, against me. She survived them all. So did I. Through it all, we spoke. About loss. About duty. About loneliness at the top of impossible hierarchies. The more I learned about her, the less she seemed like a myth and more like a being trapped by legacy. One night, as twin stars rose beyond the crystal windows, she approached me again. You are healed, she said. Your people will want you returned. I nodded. Yeah, they will. And if you go, she asked softly, what will you remember of me? I didn't answer immediately. Then I said, that when I was dying on your floor, you chose mercy. She stepped closer. And if you stay? My heart pounded. Then I'll remember the moment the galaxy changed. Her hand rose, hovering near my face, not touching. If I kiss you again, she said, voice barely audible, it will not be to save your life. I swallowed. Then don't do it unless you mean it. She did. The kiss was slower this time. Deliberate. Not power or instinct, but choice. When we parted, the chamber felt different. Lighter. In the end, I did return home. But not as a soldier. I returned as a witness. The war ended not with a final battle, but with a revelation, that even queens could learn, even empires could stop, and even enemies could choose something better. As for the alien queen? She rules still, but differently now. And sometimes, when the stars align just right, I feel a familiar warmth on my lips in my dreams. And I remember the moment I thought I was dying. Until the alien queen kissed me awake.